Hello, boys and girls. These are warning signs designed to save us from danger. If it's slippery, or if it's radioactive, or this is just a warning sign. God's prophet are his messengers to his people. Some spoke, others spoke and wrote. Today we're going to look at two prophets. Elijah was a prophet in the kingdom of Israel. He spoke. Jeremiah was a prophet in Judah. He spoke and wrote. God warned Israel and Judah through prophets, giving them signs. We're going to look at these two prophets, Elijah and Jeremiah, and you can see from the map, Israel's in the north and Judah's in the south. Let's start with Israel first. There was a bad king called Ahab, who turned the people to the worship of the idol Baal. He was supposedly a rain god. Elijah was a prophet from the God of heaven, and one day he went to King Ahab and said, I am a servant of the living Lord, the God of Israel, and I swear in his name that it won't rain until I say so. There won't even be any dew on the ground. And it didn't rain for 3 years. So much for Baal being the rain god. 3 years later, Elijah came to Ahab and challenged him. Elijah stood in front of him and said, How much longer will you try to have things both ways? If the Lord is God, worship him. But if Baal is God, we'll worship him. Gather all Israel to Mount Carmel. Bring us 2 bulls. Baal's prophets can take one of them, kill it, cut it into pieces, and they can put it on some wood, but no fire underneath it. I will do the same thing with the other bull, and I won't light a fire under it either. The God who answers by sending fire down from heaven, he is God. The prophets of Baal started, and they shouted and louder and louder, and they cut themselves with swords and knives until they were bleeding. They kept it up all afternoon, but there was no answer of any kind. Elijah told the people, Fill 4 large jars with water and pour it over the meat and the wood. He told them to do it 2 more times, until finally the water ran down the altar and filled the ditch. He was making sure that everybody knew there was no fire there. Elijah prayed, and after he prayed, the Lord immediately sent fire down, and it burned up the sacrifice and the wood, and it burned up the stones, and it even burned the water. Then the crowd saw what had happened. They all bowed down and they shouted, The Lord is God! The Lord is God! Now, let's look to Judah and Jeremiah. The Lord said to Jeremiah, I will pour out destruction all over the land. Just watch while I send for the kings of the north. They will attack and capture Jerusalem and other towns, then set their homes on fire and the gates of Jerusalem. I will punish my people because they are guilty of turning from me to worship idols. Jeremiah, get ready. Go and tell the people what I command you to say, and don't be frightened of them. So Jeremiah went to the king. For 23 years now, ever since the 13th year that Josiah was king, I have been telling you what the Lord has told me. But you have not listened. The Lord has sent prophets to you time after time, but you refuse to listen. God said through Jeremiah, you refuse to listen to me, and now I will let you be attacked by nations from the north, and especially by my servant King Nebuchadnezzar of Babylonia. You and other nations will be destroyed and left in ruins forever. Everyone who sees what has happened will be shocked, but they will still make fun of you. God spoke to Israel and Judah through these prophets. The kings and the people did not listen to them. Does God speak to us today? Yes, through the Bible. But are we listening? Long ago, in many ways and at many times, God's prophets spoke his message to our ancestors. They are recorded in the Bible in the Old Testament. But now at last God sent his Son to bring his message to us. The Bible in the New Testament. The time has come. God's kingdom will soon be here. Turn back to God and believe the good news about me, says Jesus.